Hey guys, so I have done something like this before, but I thought I would do it again. Um, just something, a list, so that way you guys can get to know me a little better since I flood your accounts, and also kind of a distraction, especially if you live in the United States, from all the political stuff that's going on. Um, the one thing I'm happy about is no more political campaign ads. I'm so happy about that. And I don't care who you voted for, and it turned out how it turned out. And I am just hoping that we go in the right direction, which is all I'm gonna say on that. I do wonder what our late night hosts are going to do, like Jimmy Kimmel and so forth, because they've had so much material for 4 years that what are they going to do now? Same with Saturday Night Live. So, but that's just a little side note. Anyways, I thought, because I'm so fatigued over all of this, that like I would do something fun. Now, I had a crazy idea last night that I was going to take out all my Christmas decorations and start decorating for Christmas. I know that seems a bit insane since we are not that far into November. But then when I look at November, I'm like, we're not that far away from Thanksgiving, and I usually put up my decorations the day before Thanksgiving. One, because there's so much effort into decorating for Christmas that I want to enjoy it as much as I can. I can't stand like putting it up, enjoying the beauty of it, and then immediately tearing it down. That's why I start early. But like last night, like I had like, I don't know, I guess a lot of energy in me where I was like, I'm gonna do Christmas decorations today and get everything all decorated. And I slept in and I woke up and I am just kind of not feeling a certain kind of way. So I don't know what's off. Um, it's just, I mean, we all have those days, right? Where we wake up and things just, you can't pinpoint it, but you feel off. And I'm feeling a bit off today. So I started getting my decorations out and I immediately just put them back in my storage unit and was like, you know what? We'll try this again tomorrow. But then I start realizing that I don't have lights for my Christmas tree because I throw them out every year. So I kind of got to get Christmas lights. So things to think about. But anyways, so I did the fun old question and answer thing. So when you see me look down, I'm looking down at my laptop. About, little things to get to know me and, just a fun little distraction. I don't think that like we should fully identify ourselves as stroke victims. I want you guys to also know that I identify with a lot of different things. So, these are just some things, and maybe put some pieces together about myself. So, some of them are a little funny, some of them, I did have a longer list, and when I looked at it, I was like, why did I pick that question and answer it? So, the first question is, what is your favorite way to spend your day off? And during the fall and winter, I am a complete hermit. I despise the cold. I do not like the feeling of the cold. So I like to watch movies, um, discover documentaries, binge watch shows on TV, and if all else fails, I'll watch The Office on repeat over and over. But I find that relaxing. And I know like it's not much of an activity and it's kind of mindless, but isn't that the point of a day off? When it's summertime, though, aside from the summer that we just had, which is kind of a one off, um, generally I sit on my patio and I'm a patio person. Like, I feel like um, when I get a house, like, I just want this big front porch patio where I can just like sit out and just watch the neighbors and then come up with these stories. It's entertaining. But where I live, I have my patio is really cute. I really like it. I hung up, as you've all known, I hung up curtains and fell. But I have the curtains, I have the wind chimes, I have like this nice patio furniture and these lights, and we do not face any streets. Like, you would never know that we existed back here. So we overlook a bunch of trees and a creek, and so it's just really peaceful. And I haven't really tapped into that because I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out why I haven't utilized the patio as much. So I think it's because I didn't have a lot of vacation time during the summer, because I cashed in a lot of my vacation time for my stroke after my short-term disability ran out. I started using vacation time, so I just didn't have that much left. So generally I never take time off during the winter and take most of my time off in the summer so I can enjoy myself. But I do get to work from home, so you think I'd sit on the patio. But I don't know if a double wasp will come and like I'll be in a meeting. But I did find those fake wasp nests, and those do help, which I've mentioned before. So, and then being at the pool. I love being at the pool. I personally like being at someone else's personal pool. I do not like the neighborhood pools because, and I apologize if you have children, but like, I like to relax and not have kids splashing and jumping, and I don't want to tell them no, because I know when I was a kid I did the same thing, although I feel like I was a little more respectful towards the adults. But at public pools there was adult swim hour. I don't know if it was an hour, but anyways, lifeguards blew their whistle, kids had to get up, and it was like adults got to enjoy the pool. Wish we had that here. What's the last show you binge watched? The Boys. I really like it. It's like an anti-hero type TV series, and didn't think I would really get into it, but I did, and that's the last thing I've binge watched. Right now, my husband and I are now binge watching Mindhunter, which I've never heard of, and I cannot believe I've never heard of it because it's right up my alley. Like, I love those type of shows. And then it has people on there from one of my favorite TV shows, Fringe, on there, like 2 people, and I'm like, why have I never heard of this show? So that's what we're binge watching right now. I really love it. Um, do you like going to the movies or prefer watching at home? I can't stand going to the movie theater because one, you are robbed on how much money it costs just to get a soda or popcorn. I mean, it is like so much money. And then the tickets, and then where you sit, and then, then it became where it was assigned seating, which was great. And then they start doing the reclining chairs, which made the movie experience better because I like can't get comfortable. But I don't know. I don't. Action movies, I will go to the movie theater because I want that surround sound. But otherwise, I'll just wait until it's, I can rent it and watch it from my home. So, what's your favorite sleeping position? I initially start sleeping on my left side, and then it's weird, I have it down to a science. About 10 minutes after that, I roll over to my right side, and that's where I stay. And it's weird because that's where my shunt is, on my right side. So you think that would be uncomfortable, but I have everything where it like kind of lays nicely, like my head like lays nicely in there. And also the fans directly hitting my face. That's another thing. I like fans on. I like that sound. It helps me sleep. Um, what's your favorite meal? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? I absolutely love breakfast. There's nothing wrong with breakfast. I can't think of anything that is bad about breakfast. If I could eat it for lunch and dinner, I would. And I can because I'm an adult. But, you know, sometimes you gotta change it up. What phone app do you use the most often? I use Instagram. That's my favorite app. I find myself pulling further and further away from Facebook. Really, I only use Facebook just to keep updated on people's lives and what's going on. But I don't know, there's something about Facebook that's just rubs me the wrong way a lot, and I just don't feel like I get a lot out of it. And I don't know, I feel like maybe a lot of people are that way too, because I see a lot of people saying that they're burning out on Facebook as well. So Instagram is my main app that I use. How do you take your coffee? I like my coffee strong, but I like to put Starbucks creamer in it and sugar. So probably not the healthiest thing for me, but I don't know. I have to have my coffee or I am a complete demon for the rest of the day. What makes you feel peace? Smells and sounds. When I smell things, I associate smells with memories. So when I smell something and it triggers that like good memory, it makes me feel at peace. And same with sounds. And there is a perfume that my mom used to wear, and it smells a bit like Bath and Body Works has a spray, and I can't remember the name, if it was Japanese cherry blossom or something. I'm not sure, but that smell smells like it. So it's like, I don't know, it makes me feel comfortable, like, the feel comforted. Which personality trait are you most proud of? I am strong-willed. I do not back down. Um, Probably to a fault, to be honest. And do you believe in second chances? And this is a big one because this has been like a debate with a lot of people. And I do believe in second and third chances. And the reason why is if you don't give people chances, then there's no incentive for that person to make corrective measures. And I'm not just talking about like life things, but even in a work environment or whatever, like if it's a one and done deal, there's no incentive for that person to correct their behavior. So I do. Do you believe life on other planets? Yes, I do. Do I think the life looks like us? No. I think that there's, microorganisms, so forth. I don't know what it looks like. I mean, we just are like not even a little molecule of the universe. So I don't know what it is. That's something I would love to know. How do you interact with someone that disagrees with you? So this happens quite often because I'm extremely opinionated. But I do not attack people. I will listen to them, and out of curiosity, I want to know why do they think why. I want to understand why they're thinking this way. And here's the key thing: I don't expect to change their mind. And that's something that's very important, is that you cannot expect that you're going to sway someone one way or the other. So if someone disagrees with you, it is simple as agree to disagree, but learn like why they think that way. I mean, you can't be so blindsided about or and this is just the way it is in my world. Like, I have to understand, like, why do you think the way you do? And that produces more of, an understanding when you encounter the next person that might think the same way, that you have a little more understanding. So, it's just something I don't think a lot of people put into practice. Which fictional character do you relate to the most? I would say I am like April Ludgate from Parks and Rec, a little bit like Robin Wright from House of Cards. And then I'm trying to think of something else, but I'm sarcastic, but I'm firm. What is something you never guess about me? I am a history buff. I love history. I watch the History Channel. I love watching all the World War documentaries. I also like criminal investigation shows. I thought I was the only one, but it turns out like there is like a high female ratio that loves that stuff. Like, I love 2020 and Dateline and all those investigation stuff. I guess it's like problem solving, and that's like my main thing, is like problem solving. Like, how did you come from here and get to there, and like all the filler in between? It just amazes me, what people do on, trying to figure it out, which is why I like the Mindhunter, because it's behavioral science department, and it like takes place way back when they were starting to profile, beginning process of profiling serial killers, like what are the traits. So, I think it's just the behavioral science aspect of it that I enjoy, is like, how do you study someone and come to a conclusion? So, what's your bug related story? I thought this was a funny, like, question to ask, but this one haunts me to this day. I was getting ready. Now, keep in mind, I'm an adult, and I was an adult during this time. And I went back to college in my mid 20s. So, anyways, I was getting in my car. I had just gone back for work, and I had to grab my backpack to go to school. So, I left my car windows down. And so I get back in the car and I put on my seatbelt, and all of a sudden I hear this like buzzing and like hitting against like the back window shield. And I look behind me, and the devil bug wasp was there, and it was looking at me like it wanted to murder me. And so this was me midway backing out of my carport. I immediately abandoned my car, and my husband was at work and he worked downtown. There's no way he could come up that quick. So I called my dad, and I had him come and get rid of the devil bug. And the funny part is, he showed up while his daughter's running in mass hysteria. He comes, kills the bug, gets in his car, salutes me. That's the end of it. I've often asked if it's okay to call 911 if those bugs ever come. What's your favorite time of day? I like the night. I am a complete night owl. I feel that I am more productive and alert, and I'm just a night person. But I can't be a night person anymore because I work, so I have to force myself to go to bed. So it kind of sucks. And I don't know, like, my whole family is just a bunch of night owls, except for my dad and my little sister, and maybe my youngest brother. There's 6 of us kids, but he works crazy hours, so he falls asleep. My sister, I don't know, she escapes so many things of our family traits, but my grandma, my mom's mom, she didn't go to bed. This is back when there was really no TV programming, but she would watch the Weather Channel all the way until 6 in the morning. I mean, and my mom, she doesn't go to bed until like 5 in the morning. And when all of us kids were living there, like, it was like Grand Station Central. Like, we would joke that no one would ever break into this house because there is someone up at all times. Now, we've all left the nest, except for my youngest brother, but it's still like Grand Central Station there. So, except for my dad. My dad does go to sleep at a normal time, but he does wake up at 3 in the morning, and then like he goes back to bed. So, but yeah, I joke that we were vampires, and I think, on my mom's side, I think it's a trait on her side about like not being able to sleep. But I think because my parents worked, like my dad was a fireman and my mom was a emergency room nurse, that they had those weird hours and it totally messed up their sleep schedule. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strict were your parents? My parents were a 9, and I applaud them for that. They were basically like, we are not your friends, we are your parents. Now, we are friends now as adults, although I still call my parents for help at all times. I talk to my mom almost every single day, but more of like friendship. But my parents were very strict because they're like, I am the parent, you are the child, you do not dictate. And they had to do that because they had 6 kids to manage. So, I mean, my mom was like, do not piss off mom. So, that's where I got the strong-willed behavior from, is my mom. But I've told her thank you, though, for that. But, and then reasoning I get from my dad on looking at things. So I got a mixture of like both my mom and dad. But, when I hit like 18, like, I don't know, like something just like sprung into me where I was like defiant for a bit. And they're being strict didn't matter to me. So I apologize to them deeply all the time about that. So my dad says that some of his gray hair is from that. Don't fully blame your daughter. What personality trait has gotten you in the most trouble? I don't know if I would say it's a trait, but I have a thing, and this has been forever. This has been in school, this has been at my old job, this is at my new job, and this is why I will never be able to play poker. I show how I'm feeling on my face at all times. So at my old job, people would like sit in front of me when they were holding meetings to watch my facial expressions, because I mean, it would be like, are you serious? And same with my job, like, you can tell. And, sometimes I think it's a good thing, because if someone's rattling something off, like, you can look at me and you can see where I'm like, no. But yes, my face says it all on how I'm feeling. Like, I cannot control my face. Like, I try, but I can't. I don't know. It's animated and I just can't. If you could pick a new name for yourself, what would it be? Now, I really love the name Wendy, because not a lot of people have that name. And I've always loved it. In fact, that's why I loved Peter Pan, because of Wendy. And, but I always name things Veronica, so I would change my name to Veronica if I could. And I always said if I had kids, which I never have, but if I did have a kid, Veronica. So, are you spiritual or religious? I'm spiritual. What are your favorite smells? So my favorite smells, and I'm just going to pinpoint it to candles, is apple, cinnamon, and pumpkin. So you can gather that together. Fall smells. Love it. What is the weirdest food combination that you enjoy? I know I'm not the only crazy person that does this, and there's others out there that do this. But I like to take Wendy's Frosty and dip their fries in it. Call me crazy, that's okay, but I love it, and I will never stop. What is something that will always be a fashion statement no matter what? And I always say a simple black dress. Where do you get your decorations for your house? Target. Target has consumed most of my money. What is a bad habit that's hard to give up? Buying clothes. I have been a clothing nut forever, and it's like it's a habit I need to break because it's like my closet is like just too full, and I'm continuously like finding stuff to buy, and I don't get it, but I love clothes. How comfortable are you speaking in front of large groups? It depends on the subject. So if I feel very strong about the subject, I can go in front of a million people and talk just fine. But if I'm like so on the topic, then I start kind of hyperventilating. What is your back in my day Um, we all have that. Mine is play outside until it got dark. When we were kids, we weren't attached to anything. We went outside and played foursquare, rode our bikes, played in the creek, and then at nighttime, when we knew that it was dinner time, we came home. And I just don't see that happening anymore. What's the most historic thing that has happened in your life? And sadly, that's 9/11. I will never get that image out of my head. I was 18 years old when it happened. I had just graduated from high school. And I remember walking down the steps, and it was my mom had on the news, and that's when the first plane had hit. And we were just sitting there thinking like, oh my God, a plane just crashed, and just like, I mean, this was an accident. And then while we're watching it, we watched the second plane hit, and it's like, this is not an accident. And then, the two other plane incidents that happened, and it was just such a jarring time, and I will never forget it, ever. I mean, this is like other people's, when they talk about Pearl Harbor, this is like mine, 9/11. I watched footage obsessively, trying to understand what the heck was going on. Do you think humans will ever be able to live in harmony together? I wish, but no. And the reason why is because it takes away freedom of thought. If we were in harmony, that means that in a way we would all have to come together to a agreement. And I wish we could be in harmony where each of us have our own opinion and we all respect each other for our opinions, but there has to be a winner on how something is ruled, or what takes place. And it's not going to happen that way. And so I think it's a utopia to believe in harmony as much as we want it. I wish for it. I don't want there to be chaos, but there is a fine line between harmony and taking away freedom of thought. So that's just my thought on that. Favorite holiday movie. So I like Christmas Vacation, and I also like Hocus Pocus. Those are my two go-to holiday movies that I watch. I also like A Christmas Story, which is on 24 hours on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But Christmas Vacation never gets old. never gets old. So these are just a few little extra things about me for you guys to get to know. I'm sure I could probably, there was like a ton more. I deleted them not to bore the heck out of you guys. But I just wanted to take a break from like political stuff, stroke stuff, everything. Just like get to know me, and maybe other people will do something like this, get to know someone a little bit better. So anyways, that's just my little extra bonus video for the weekend. And I am going to try to start writing. But like I said, I kind of woke up in a funk, so I don't know if I'm just going to lay and just kind of, relax and not feel like I need to do something. Because I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot tomorrow to get prepared for my work week. So, yeah, I'm just going to curl up and watch shows and enjoy what I can. Enjoy the last couple of days of warm weather too. That's been such a great thing that we've had it been in the 70s. And then I think Tuesday goes away. I think we go down to the 50s. But if memory serves me right, I always feel like we get a warm up on Thanksgiving and then a warm up on Christmas. And then January is when it gets really dark and cold and awful all the way up until May. So, I don't know. Still trying to fight to move somewhere warm, but it's not going to ever work out. So, I don't know. I just need to buy a space heater that follows me everywhere and make me feel good. So, I thrive with light and heat like a lizard. So, anyways, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. And see you later.